Hey everyone, and welcome once again to Magic Partners Live, where we come at you, we try to come at you every week. And I'm John from D News Jam, and sitting next to me is our Magic Partners and our Disney experts. First, we've got Chase from DisneylandToday.net. Hey Chase, how are you? Next to him, we have Bryan from Bryan's A Magic Life. Guys, good morning for me, good afternoon and evening for you. To everyone in Australia, happy Mother's Day, and good luck for tomorrow's Mother's Day over there. So today we have got heaps to talk about once again. It's amazing how Disney always gives us plenty to talk about. So how are you guys? How have we been this week? I know, Bryan, you've been in the parks and had a great May the 4th. That must have been fantastic.
Definitely.
And
it was super.
And Chase, I know you've been busily loading up stories to DisneylandToday.net. I know that's kept you really busy this week. Lots to talk about. First of all, I want to get on to Disney World, and I want to talk about the new health updates that have happened at Disney World. So, Bryan, what's actually been going on? Are we going to have some relaxation of things moving forward? Is that the case?
So far, the only thing I've heard that's going to be relaxed or gone completely is going to be the temperature checks before going into the parks or Disney Springs.
Okay.
Those temperature checks are going away on May 8th for cast members and then May 16th for guests.
Right. Okay. And what else new has happened in the park as far as you know this week? Anything opened or?
Yeah, so actually today,
Yep.
a celebration of Festival of the Lion King reopened. I'm
Yep.
really jealous of everyone that was there today because I could not find a park reservation to try to go after work. So
Right.
otherwise, I would have gotten a little bit of that to be on here with you guys with.
So just tell me, so park reservations are still on. So do you have do you have interstate visitors coming in at the moment, or is that not allowed? And do they have to do a park reservation as well when they're coming in?
Right, yeah. So for Walt Disney World, we've been taking the out-of-state visitors since the reopening last summer, and
Okay.
yeah, they do have to have park reservations just like everyone else. So
Okay.
they kind of with the theme park guests, the guests staying at the hotels, they kind of, I would say, would have a little more priority than like pass holders or day guests.
Yep.
Just because Disney wants to make sure that the people spending more money have more options to get into the park. And I think that's fair.
Yep. Okay, that's great. No worries. So the other thing I wanted to talk about today, in terms of Walt Disney World, is help me out here, Bryan. I've got my train of thought here.
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yes,
Oh,
Halloween.
yes, Halloween. Let's move into that.
Announcements.
Yeah. Lots of Halloween announcements. Thank you, Chase.
Yeah, we've had plenty. Thank you,
We've had
Chase.
plenty this week.
So we heard about what's going to take the place of Mickey's Not So Scary this year. The Halloween Bash, which is going to be an after-hours event. From what I saw, it's only going to be like 3 hours long.
Yep.
They haven't released any details as far as pricing. Last I've seen anyways. I've been trying to keep up to date on that. So if Chase has seen anything, let me know. But I haven't seen anything as far as pricing yet. I also haven't seen anything as far as how much is going to be included in that pricing. I know they said there will be, forms of entertainment. They didn't say what that'll be. The character cavalcades will be going through, of course, as well.
Yep.
And then they will have some treats. I don't know if they said they were going to do treat trails or what the case is going to be on that. I think it was
Yep.
treat trails, but I don't think it's going to be as many as like the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. But you should still get plenty of candy.
Okay, so I'm trying to bring it up here. So,
Yeah.
so that's the little video they released of the new costumes for the characters. Let's have a look at that quickly. They look kind of cute.
I like Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Super Donald.
I'm not even sure what that is.
He's
Yeah.
just Super Donald.
Super. Yeah. And then they had like a sneak peek at the new merch coming through. Of course, the new Mio's front and center these
Outfits
days.
for the new Mos,
Yeah, front and
And
center.
then the villains.
Yep.
Cool pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. they
I
are
would
nice,
totally
but-
wear
I like
those.
that bucket hat. Bucket hat is awesome. I have a
Bucket
couple
hat's
friends that are
cool
going to
too.
want that bucket.
That Madame Leota is that jacket is awesome.
Yeah, it looks like a denim jacket.
Yep. That's good too. Yep. A little bit of Nightmare there as
And I
well.
like that zip up Mickey hoodie right there too. That's pretty
That
cool
one,
too.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
This one's very
I
fluid.
like
Yeah.
the zip up one next
leggings
to it
to
too.
go with
Yeah.
it.
Yep. So that's good. It's amazing. Oh, I have
Oh
to
my
get
gosh,
this.
a Hades.
Oh,
That's
dear.
funny.
Yeah.
Not quite ears, but it's a headband.
It is. It's
Right.
a headband. I can see a lot of
I
people
was gonna
wearing
say,
that though.
wait, what is it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean anybody. can wear
Maleficent's
those, like,
head on a
guys,
chain.
girls, I can
That's
see
great.
Anybody wearing that.
Yeah, so that's really cool. Yeah, like I said, lots of Halloween stuff coming through. And we're going to have a nighttime extravaganza again, which is fantastic. I'm not sure if they said much about will it be happening at Disneyland as well. I would suggest probably yes, because watching NBC News last night, as I do, I noticed that the pandemic seems to be getting well under control there. 60% of the population are now vaccinated, which is almost enough to get herd immunity in the United States, which really does bode well for things opening up, not only at the parks, but all across the states. So,
Right.
yeah, so that's really good. And I would suspect that we might have a better Halloween and Christmas this year, as it's still, a good 6 months away. What do you guys think?
I'm not sure about Halloween because it's just, but who knows? We may get there. We may be. I'm guessing that by the end of June
Yep.
is when they said that they're going to be getting rid of the color tier system. So
Oh, right. Yep.
it's a possibility, but I don't know if since it's still so early on in them being open.
Yep.
It takes them a while to get to that point. Even Walt Disney World still has has some of its restrictions in place, so it may be too soon for Disneyland to do a Halloween type. I'm guessing it'll probably be a very monitored, like there'll be some strategy to it if they do anything like
Yeah,
that, like
yep.
parades
Absolutely.
and everything. They'll have to really space out people and make sure that things are still safe. But that's good to hear about the vaccinations. As far as countrywide, nationwide, we're still
Yeah, definitely.
seeing slightly low numbers. We're not all there yet for all over the United States, which is what
Yep.
we need to really have that immunity. But we're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, to see that figure, and they did show a couple of hospitals that were overrun some weeks ago. We're talking like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now they haven't got a single patient in the ward. So that is absolutely fantastic news. So moving on a bit here, I want to go over to Disneyland now. And what we did see this week is some new details on Avengers Campus. So Chase, you did a bit of a story on this on Disneyland Today.net. So I just want to bring that up now, and let's play this video perhaps in the background while we're having a bit of a chat about it. So tell us what we're seeing here, Chase, in regards to Avengers Campus.
Sure, yeah. These are going to be the new cast member costumes throughout the land once it opens up, and you've got some for each section. So you have both staff and cast members throughout the different areas. And it's definitely confirmed with this video that, and I mean, it was pretty much a given, but we have definitely confirmed that they've included Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout into Avengers Campus, because they're even changing the costumes for Mission Breakout. They're giving them new outfits as part of this whole thing. So they look really, really cool. Especially the people that are over in Web Slingers and also in the shop that it empties out into. I love their outfits. It's just like this kind of somewhat geeky, nerdy, fun kind of shirt, like over shirt that's unbuttoned with an under t-shirt, to make it kind of cool and teenage-ish. But it looks like, it looks like something like Peter Parker would wear to school, or at least Ned. So I really, really liked what they came up with. You can see them on the top picture there on the right. And it's just really cool, relaxed sort of outfit. And I think this is starting to show throughout the park with their new kind of dress code thing that they've got going. They're having a little bit more fun with costumes, I've noticed. So in the video, it was very, very brief, but you do see one of the cast members with almost like a matching nail polish on, which you never would have seen until they came up with this new dress code. So you see him very briefly, but dark fingernail polish, and as he's holding the shirt, you can see him as his nails are turned out and everything. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely new. Yep. But I think altogether it's a great presentation, and I'm still really excited to see this the stuff coming out of the Doctor Strange show that they're doing over in the courtyard there. And I'm really excited about it because our friends over at Happy Place Explorers are going to be there on opening day of Avengers Campus. So I don't know if it's just Michelle or if it's Joey and Michelle, but they are going to be over there for that. So I'm hoping we get some really awesome video footage of web slingers, maybe some of that rooftop action they've got going on, maybe Doctor Strange. So I'm pumped about that.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of vloggers try to get a good look into Avengers Campus, and it is pretty hard to. I mean, you can see you can just see the Quinjet and what have you, but you can't get a good look at the ground even from the Ferris wheel there in DCA.
From the Palaram,
yeah. So it's hard. One thing we forgot to talk about last week, because we just ran out of time, obviously, was this a new situation that's coming leading out from Avengers Campus. And Chase, tell us a bit about this, because this was new when people sort of walked into Disneyland and started reporting on it. And what's the story behind this? And where
Disney
is
it? Disney has come up with a little thing here for Mission Breakout, and it goes this I call it residue. It's a very strange, cool residue that changes it. The color transitions from this blue and yellow to this magenta. So as you go along the trail, the color slightly changes, and I don't mean lit up. I just mean it just goes into a transition of different colors. So so you'll see that the magenta leads into the blue or vice versa.
Yeah.
And the guess is that, which they haven't shown with any lighting yet, that it can be lit from underneath the ground and it will glow or pulse, which would be super cool, because apparently it's they said they created a backstory for it, that when the collector decided that this was going to be the spot for his collection, that this stuff, this residue, started to come up through the ground. So it's possibly coming from underneath and from Mission Breakout, and they don't quite have it figured out as to what it is, but it runs from the exit of the attraction into Avengers Campus, and so it's pretty cool. It's some pretty awesome stuff, and the artist that they did this, I can't remember if they said it was a local artist, but they got somebody who really likes doing this stuff, and it's really glossy and cool, but this is the kind of art that he does normally, and he was able to give a really, obviously it's really obvious in the ground. It's really stands out, so you can't miss it, and it'd be cool to follow it like a trail.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. So I wanted to quickly whip back. Sorry, over to you, Bryan. And just talk about what happened on May the 4th, because we went over to you live on the last show, and that was really excellent. Yeah. But let me just bring this up now. This is for everyone who hasn't been there before. This is Bryan's channel. We're having a look at this video that Bryan, this latest vlog that Bryan's just put up over the weekend. So what happened on the day? What was the feeling over there? Tell us something you may have purchased that's pretty exclusive as well. Tell us all about it, Bryan.
Okay, so yeah, it was a really fun day. I'm so glad I got to spend the day at Hollywood Studios and mostly Galaxy's Edge for the day. I mean, we went and did a couple other rides too, but it was really fun. Everybody was in good spirits. Everybody, yep, there you go. There's the limited edition Leia saber with the limited edition Skywalker Reforged that came in that special package, which I happen to have one right here.
Oh, let me see this. Hang on. Hang on a minute. That's fantastic. And so that's sold out online, I believe, in 15 minutes. So how many did they actually make? It was around 3,000 or something, wasn't it? In the end,
limited they made to 3,000.
Yep.
And I can open it for you really quick. So you open it, and it plays music. And right here, you can see where it says number 1288,000.
Yep.
It keeps playing that theme. You can lift up the foam that's inside to hold the lightsabers and turn it off, of course, so you can save batteries.
Yep.
Let me, really quick, I'll show you the lightsabers.
And what lightsabers are they? Tell us the story of these two lightsabers, because I believe they're from the end scene of help me out, Chess here. Rise of Skywalker. Yep.
So you have the one that. Go ahead, Case.
I was just going to say really quick, as far as like the lightsabers and the legacy lightsabers that are available, I did see something that said that Ahsoka Tano's version 2 lightsaber blade, Ventress's blades, and the Ventress's blades, and also the Temple Guard lightsaber blade are now discontinued.
Oh no! Oh, that's really disappointing.
Good thing I have both sets of Ahsoka.
Yeah. Yep. Good thing. Yeah. I was hoping for Ventress's, but gone. You can't wait around with these things, can you?
They've actually been sold out for a while, and then they finally confirmed that they've been discontinued. So,
right.
That's unfortunate. I know I wanted some Ventress as well.
Yeah.
So for most of the second movie, and third movie, it's the one that it looks like this, has this on here because it Rey and Kylo when they they break it when they're both trying to get it. So she fixed it, and this is how it looks now. You got some really nice scorch burn marks there. Nice bit of leather here. So this is the one that she uses most of the movies. And then it also came with Leia Organa, or Skywalker.
And this is the new one, right?
Her.
We haven't seen this one before.
This is the brand new one.
Yep.
It looks really good in person, honestly. You can kind of see the shininess when I'm holding it up to the camera here. Through pictures, it looks kind of plasticky almost, but it is not. It is metal. It is full-on metal.
Yep.
The nice thing about this is you can't attach the blade to this head, unfortunately. It does detach, though. And then, just like the Luke Skywalker Legacy hilt, it comes with like the fat neck one that you can put on here in place of it. So I'll show you how that looks really quick as well.
They are selling Leia's saber individually.
Yes, they just started
I did
doing
some
that
reading
today.
on the lightsaber group, so I believe it's around
It's $149.99.
Oh, I was way off. Okay.
$149.99. Yeah, no, you're good. I've been keeping an eye on it too. But so this is what it looks like with the the fat neck on it, which you can put the blade in. So it's a little different once you have that on there. But for display purposes, which is what I bought it for, you get the nice, good-looking one. So
seeing...
like Chase just said, they are selling Leia's on its own now. And from everything I've seen so far, it's only at Walt Disney World, and it's an in-park exclusive, which I would expect would be the same at Disneyland. I think Disneyland still has a few sets of the limited edition out, which I believe is why they haven't started selling it by itself yet over there. I would suspect they'll do the same thing, and I would suspect it to be an in-park exclusive as well.
Yep. So, tell us a little bit of what happened on the day. As I sort of skip through your
on the day
vlog
here. We went and checked out the merchandise store, which is where we found the limited edition lightsabers.
Yep.
We went and explored Batuu, as you can see. We were lucky enough to get into one of the 1 o'clock boarding sabers right there. I did a thing. This
guarding it.
I would have run straight to my car with that one.
I'm glad I didn't. I heard a story from someone who did that, and their car got broken into.
Oh no!
They lost their set. So
no.
Yeah, unfortunately. So I'm glad I didn't do that right away.
Absolutely.
I did it a little later in the day, and there was no one around me, so nobody knows. And we did Rise of the Resistance, and we went and walked around Galaxy's Edge a little more. We interacted with a bunch of people. There was a lot of people there that were dressed up in their Batuu bounds, as we call them on Batuu, or at the rest of Disney bound. And a lot of cool lightsabers, whether it be Galaxy's Edge lightsabers, Savi's Workshop lightsabers, or ones that they find up sites. Some really cool custom ones. Like, go up to anyone and they all say maybe the or Force also. Some just said Force, but it was a really, really fun night. It's a saber meetup that I've been to, so I'm kind of understanding what to expect. They changed it up this time and had us go in 50 just to help together. Obviously, with how many people showed up, as you can see here, there was well over a few hundred, I think. I think in the Discord group, one of the Galaxy's Edge groups, I think it was the Discord group, I think they said close to 500, maybe a little over 500 people showed up. So that goes to show you how popular these lightsaber meetups are. Yeah,
definitely.
I heard in the group that some people were saying that they were kicking out bloggers and vloggers who were trying to cover it and remove them just because they were sticking around too long and kind of making more of a difficulty moving than...
I hadn't heard of that, but with some of the ones out here, it wouldn't surprise me. There are some that will probably wear out their welcome, I would say. But I know there were a few like that I watched personally that they went in with the group of 50 that they were with, they covered it, and then they left.
Right.
So some of them are pretty good about keeping with the rules Disney put in place. But yeah, no, that wouldn't surprise me, not
Hmm.
one bit. But I had not
Another
heard.
thing that another thing is Twitch unfortunately wasn't able to be shared. They turned off the feature in the group. Is Ashley came on a separate video that she made, and she was just talking about her experience of being there with the fans. She's
Hmm.
wearing her Ahsoka Tano spirit jersey, and
Oh
she
yeah.
was so sweet
Part
and
of
so
her
cute. She was
universe
like,
collection. Yeah.
and she was so sweet. She was like, I absolutely love going out there and seeing everybody. She goes, because the biggest thing about Star Wars that she loves is, she says, I absolutely adore the fans. And she had a
Hmm.
chance to meet some people a little bit more closely than others, some with, and they were really happy about that. Some big events, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
she just made the sweetest video to thank everyone and thank Disney for making it such a memorable experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
She's
love Ashley. I'm
definitely.
glad she comes out from time to time.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? She's definitely a really kind soul. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I want to do.
Yeah, she surprised every group of 50. So that was really cool. Like nobody gave away the surprise either. So that was awesome.
Yeah. So
Nice.
so talking about Star Wars, I now wanted to go over to the Bad Batch, and we had a new episode drop on Friday, and let's have a bit of a chat about it. So. In 2 episodes now, do we think we can watch these over and over again, or are they something that you watch once and you're done with? And what do you guys think about the series so far? Do you love it, hate it, or do you think it's doing justice? And yeah, throwing over to you guys.
I
What do
could
you think?
definitely rewatch it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's very rewatchable for me, just like the Clone Wars animated series, which I'm glad they're doing it just like that. Very rewatchable, and I think it's awesome so far.
yeah.
I can't wait for more. I hate that it's weekly, but at the same time I'm glad it is, because I'd go through it way too quickly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Chase, who's your favorite characters, and what do you think about rewatchability as well?
I definitely agree with Bryan in saying the rewatchability is there. I wasn't a huge fan of the final season of Clone Wars, where they had, the sisters episode, which the chapter for the two sisters, which I was like, okay, I don't know what their thing is, but at least we get Ahsoka. But the
Yeah,
Bad Batch was very exciting. They were, it really has a new perspective on things and what happened in the clone process. And my favorite character so far is Hunter, who is in the front there.
yep,
And I think this episode, this latest one, episode 2, was probably my favorite of the two so far. And I think that's, even though it was a shorter episode, we got our pilot, which was just over an hour. This one was a half an hour.
yep,
We really get to see, like, he's probably the most compassionate of the group, but he reminds me a lot of, like, Rex from Rebels,
yep,
and just Rex in general. He just seems to have that sensibility about him and reason. It's just like he thinks of things really carefully from just a more humane position. Like, okay, this is logical, this makes sense. It's not so much he's a very Kanan-like figure, where, like, he considers things for the group, also thinks of things on a more personal human level than some of the others. But Wrecker sort of has that sort of, he's like Zeb. So it's like he likes to get in there, but at times he's like, maybe I was too rough, or, he kind of thinks things through, like, okay, yeah, he's big and tough, but he's really got a softy kind of inside to him. So, this episode really, really spoke to me. It was just really sweet, I think, with And I'm a big fan of Omega, so I think she and Hunter have hit it off really well.
Yeah, and the fact that she, spoiler alert, guys, I should always say this before we start talking about the show, but massive spoiler alert here, so, turn off for a second. But I think the fact that she, turned away from the family that was probably best for her and turned back to the guys, in the end was just a testament to the fact that she'll be with them from now on, which is really good because she's a lovable character. So staying on Star Wars, what I wanted to do now, and I'm just going to set this up, guys. We didn't get a chance to talk to you about it, Bryan, but we saw the release of a new, extremely realistic lightsaber that's coming to what we think of, what we think is going to be the Star Wars hotel. Look, your thoughts on that? Just talk a bit around that, and talk. The thing I asked Chase last week as well was, do we think that's going to get sold, or will it just be with the characters? And also, tell us your thoughts on the Star Wars hotel. What do you think it's going to be like? How expensive is it going to be to go, and all that sort of thing? And I'll just line this up. So let us know what your thoughts on that was.
So. Galactic Star Cruiser, I think, is going to be super fun.
Yep.
It's basically, from my understanding, is going to be a fully immersive experience where you have like your own character, story, everything, and everything that you do is going to have consequences, I guess would be the best word. And that all kind of plays into your story. That lightsaber, I would suspect, is going to be just for the Galactic Star Cruiser, most likely, and it's probably going to be used in the I can't think of where right now, but there's an area where they're going to kind of like do training and be able to deflect blasters and stuff like that, and I would suspect that is definitely part of it. And that is, look how cool that is. I want that.
That is so neat. I showed this to my parents yesterday, and I can't get enough of that. And my dad was wondering. He's like, how does it work? And I was like, well, the patent and the blueprints are available for everybody online. You can find them. But somebody in a group that I'm in actually broke it down frame by frame. And they're just saying that it looks like it rotates. They're saying as it goes up, it rotates, and then the cap is on the very tip. But I mean, that's got to all happen so fast because look at how smooth that is.
Yeah,
and it's just
super smooth.
It's so incredible.
Yeah,
and so I'm excited. I hope they take it to the parks outside of the cruiser. But I think the best way to describe the resort is it's like a Disney cruise on the ground.
A very immersive Disney cruise. And I expect the pricing to be along the pricing of probably what a cruise costs. But I would say probably.
I've heard about $1,000 a night. And it's at least a 2-night experience, so you can't just go overnight. It's 2 days at least, and so it's gonna cost you a little bit. But it sounds like there's so much. It's going to be worth it. Yeah. You're going to get some really cool. But I'm looking for the big YouTubers to be attending this and actually getting us some footage.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll be able to, they probably will be able to record inside there during the press release. Or, I mean, they did a press release for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Or at least very limited recording.
Yeah, at least so we can have a look inside and see what it looks like. Because us humble people probably won't be able to get in there. It'll be that expensive. But
take me about 5
not
years
me.
Okay.
It'll be a long time to save up for that one. And staying on Star Wars, I just wanted to go quickly as well over to the new Disney Wish, which I'm pretty excited about this. Now, there's going to be this new Star Wars lounge, hyperspace lounge inside the ship. which looks pretty awesome. Just to stand there or sit there and have a drink and watch that screen behind this gentleman here would be pretty awesome, I think. I think this ship is going to be one to really go on. We think we'll see cruising again 2022 next year. They're saying for the spring, summer of 2022 it should be back. I think that's a pretty safe plan. I think we're going to have lots of limitations on board for a couple of years, though. I think there'll be a bit of social distancing. I think we won't see ships being full for a couple of years, but I certainly think that's a good estimation to see them back on the water for 2022. And I'd like to take a cruise on the Wish for sure. That would be an awesome experience.
Right now, I just noticed that it was, because I did a feature of this on the blog, of course, that it looks like anywhere from a 2 to 5 day excursions. The cruise to Nassau in the Bahamas.
Okay.
So they don't seem to have like different. It seems like that's the only place that it's going right now.
Yep.
It didn't have like various places, like you couldn't take, some of their other locations.
But it's. Go ahead. Sorry, Chase.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
No, it's fine. It's a
very
beautiful ship.
Yep. I have been on the cruise in the Bahamas and to Disney's private island, Castaway Cay, and I will have to tell you, it's an awesome experience. So, we went on a 7-night cruise, and it was absolutely beautiful through those islands. I think we had about 2 or 3 stops, ending in Castaway Cay before we came back to port. So, and that leaves from Port Canaveral, which is probably about 2 hours drive from you, right, Bryan? I think that's what it was, about 2 hours in the bus.
That's only about like an hour drive.
Oh, is it?
From where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's about like an hour and a half to 2 hours from Disney property, but where I'm at, I'm like right in between Port Canaveral and Disney, so it's like an hour from where I am.
Yeah. Okay. But
yeah, from Disney property, I would say like 2 hours.
And for me, the cruise was reasonably priced as well. And look, you know what I mean? I would not go on any other cruise but Disney. I'm not a huge fan of cruising, but when you cruise with Disney, it's like a completely different experience. One of the things I found that's really great about a cruise is the characters are just on hand all the time, and you get heaps of photo opportunities that you wouldn't have with characters in the park. And then the dining experiences are just over the top. So I would highly recommend when cruising comes back in 2022 that you guys take a look. Definitely, for sure.
Oh, I plan on it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because it's a great experience.
I would love to go on a Disney cruise. Absolutely.
Yep. Amazing experience. It's well set up as well, because if you're interstate or an international visitor, you can stay in Disney World and then go off for a cruise of the week and then come back to Disney World. So that's a really nice holiday to talk about. I believe you guys call it vacation. Sorry, I'm talking like an Australian now.
That's fine. I knew exactly what you were talking about. So.
That's great. Good to know. So I now want to talk about what's going on coming up with Disney Plus, and also what we might see in the theaters real soon. So I'm just going to go back to your site, if you don't mind, Chase, and we're going to talk about, first of all, what's going on with this gentleman here. So we got some updates on Loki this week. And Chase, if I can get you to talk through what this gentleman, this great Mr. Loki here is talking about.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yes.
So this is a hilarious video, and it's just fun to watch. She's talking about how this montage that they started was they don't really include Loki, and so he says, I just wanted to point out that I don't know why they didn't include him, because he's such a guy and he's charming and he's so he just said that there. It's like he goes charming, but he's saying, I'm going to just show you what's going on here, and so now we know that the date has been pushed forward to the 9th instead of the 11th. And I'm guessing this has everything to do with the fact that they don't want to run into Bad Batch. So this, otherwise, Loki would be on the same day as Bad Batch on the 11th. And he said, so Wednesday is the new Friday. So it'll be on Wednesdays, and then Bad Batch will be. So I was really glad to hear that they not only do we get it 2 days earlier, we get, Wednesday and Friday for our big dates for being able to watch more. And I think, Disney does a smart thing. And I was wanted to touch on what Bryan said earlier. He's like, I wish it was all at once, but then I'd watch it, binge watch it. That's what I think the whole reason Disney does that is because there are definitely people out there who are like, I want to watch it all and then cancel and then come back. And it's like, this helps keep subscribers. And the more you make content, the longer people want to stay. So with Loki and Bad Batch running simultaneously, it's going to keep subscribers. It's going to get more subscribers. And we're just constantly getting, barraged with this, new series all the time, which is great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Look, from what we've seen from past series, they really do put a lot into every show. It's almost like, a movie over, 5 or 6 episodes or, in Mandalorian's case, 8. So it's very watchable. And when you've got things like 2 of these fantastic series running at the same time, it's just like, unbelievable to think of of what we're getting from Disney Plus. I don't think we would have been getting so much if the theaters were open, but really good to see. So, really excited to see Loki, and not too far away either. But before we get into anything else, I just wanted to talk about as well what's coming to as feature films. Now, we've got some feature films that will come to Disney Plus. We'll talk about those at another time, but we've got some other feature films coming in 2022. The first one I kind of wanted to talk about, and look, we have got cast details now for this one, so I wanted to talk about Peter Pan first with you guys. Coming as a live action, we think in 2022 sometime. Disney does really like to release these spring, summer. But we've got now a full cast list. Chase, just wanted to ask you how you think this movie is going to go. Now, we're going to talk about 3 movies today. What I really like, so I can get in here first, is the fact that they're all going to be musical this time. So we feel like we're going to have a bit of with these 3 films we're going to talk about, Peter Pan being the first, we're going to have a real sense that they're going to follow the original story, which I kind of like. What do you think about that, Chase?
Well, I just want to add that I think with Peter Pan and Wendy, we're not quite going to get the same story as what was in the Peter Pan animation. So I'm not sure if they'll have like their own kind of a thing, but this is supposed to follow the book a little bit more, so a little bit more closely, and not so much what we saw, the J.M. Barrie novel that was written about Peter Pan. But I just have to say that I think Jude Law as Captain Hook was brilliant. Brilliant. He is going to be a fantastic Hook.
Yeah, I think so as well. He was a great Dumbledore. as well, with Fantastic Beasts. So I really enjoyed his role there as well. So I would totally agree with that. He's going to be a fantastic Hook. And like the cast does seriously look good. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic
awesome
film. Yeah. So we're really looking forward to that. So the other thing I wanted to move into now was the Little Mermaid. I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, Chase, but I think Little Mermaid is the furthest along. I think we're going to see the Little Mermaid first. Once again,
Yeah, it's either going to be Peter Pan and then Little Mermaid, or Little Mermaid and then Peter Pan. And I think Pinocchio will be one of the later ones we get.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Little Mermaid's coming directly to Disney Plus. Yeah, I'm not sure on that, but yeah.
But it might be.
Yeah.
It might be. It's like I think that it's safe to say that it's possible with the release dates for each of these films that they may get both. So they may get both a theater and Disney Plus run.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, you know, like if it does cover Disney Plus, you'd think that there'd be, you know, a paid version at the start before we get it streamed, you know, to the normal service. But you know, this looks really good. I would mention that they're going to use Alan Menken for. I mean, they're going to use his original songs, but also he's going to create a couple of extra songs as well for the movie. So that's exciting news because there's no one like the master to produce those sorts of songs.
Nobody can do anything like he can.
Yeah. So that's really exciting to know. And I you know, look, I'm kind of looking forward to these movies just because of that. I think, I don't know if you agree, but it's been a bit of a hit and miss over the live action remakes for Disney. But there is, you know, there is some that a lot of people love, and a lot of them have done really well at the box office. So I think there's something, you know, that we're going to see a lot of in the future. And you know, look, I'm excited about these. The other one I wanted to talk about today was Pinocchio. So Pinocchio, the big news about Pinocchio is Geppetto is going to be played by Tom Hanks, which I think will suit him very well. I don't know if what you guys thought, but I loved his role as Walt Disney when he played Walt Disney.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he did a great job.
Yeah, I think he did a fantastic job. He really captured the inner soul of Walt Disney, that cheer, you know, just how Walt was. So I think he's going to do a really great job of that. I think there's going to be a lot of CG in this, you know, in terms of the puppets. But I'm also particularly happy to hear about the fact that this movie will be a musical because, you know, I don't know what you guys think, but Pinocchio without music is a little bit dark. It's a little bit of a darker movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it is very much.
Yeah. So,
but they have said that there'll be When You Wish Upon a Star. They'll have Hi Diddle Dee Dee. I've Got No Strings on Me. So they'll have all the ones that we really love singing, especially since Got No Strings on Me is just it's a great fun song, and Hi Diddle Dee Dee is you know, it's right at the beginning of the Pinocchio attraction. It's the first thing you hear. And so that song and just connecting it to Pleasure Island is just going to be really, really good. And I think that this cast is going to be pretty good. I'm liking what I see so far. So the people that they've picked and the fact that they're including the songs is going to be good. Like The Little Mermaid is getting Kiss the Girl and Under the Sea. And all this kind of stuff. So I'm not sure about the actor that they have playing Triton. He kind of looks like Sylvester Stallone a little bit, but, but okay.
Well, I mean, there's probably a costume or two to be added. Let me go to the right slide here. A costume or two to be added in terms of what people look like. So there we go. We got the right slide. So yeah. So I'm sure they'll make some additions to his look for sure. But
I think Melissa McCarthy was a good choice for Ursula.
Yeah, you know what?
Absolutely.
I don't know if you watched the Disney sing-along, but I thought Rebel Wilson did a really, really good job of Ursula when she sang "Poor Unfortunate Souls."
Job.
So but I think Melissa's the type of person that can cover her really, really well, and I think she's a really important character in that movie to do well. So that's great. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's pivotal to the entire. It's without her, none of the rest of the movie wouldn't make sense. So
yeah, absolutely. So I'm really excited about those three that are coming up. We will be talking about Cruella when it gets a little bit closer to release as well, because I know that's looking like it's going to be coming this year. So we'll have a chat about that and coming shows. I just wanted to go back maybe to Disneyland and just have a chat to you in the last few minutes, Chase, about what's been happening at Disneyland. It looks like, what crowd levels have been there as far as you can see. And what's, it's been open for over a week now. What's the response been? Is it still selling out? Can you get a meal there? I heard food orders are pretty full up. So just chat to us your feelings about, the first week of opening and how it's going.
Sure. I was actually just reading something today about somebody who hadn't been to the park for at least a couple of years. And she said, that I waited in the queue for 6.5 hours. And she goes, and I just wanted to let you know if it was worth it waiting in line for that amount of time just to get a ticket. And she said that she didn't experience some of the technical difficulties that people were getting, where they got sent to a page that had crashed. Okay. But from the overall gist of what I'm getting from people who have been on opening day and at least been in opening week is that everybody is saying it's very, very magical still. I mean, it's obvious that there's a lot going on with social distancing and everything, but they are saying that Disney has been handling it extremely well and very professional, and still making sure that everybody is safe. So we got two. Let me see. I think there's 2 attractions that have reopened. That was the Grizzly River Run that's over in California, and the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which is over in Critter Country in Disneyland. And so they've opened up today, or at least within the past day, because they weren't available on opening day. And so that's a good sign, the fact that they're able to get some more attractions opening, and that people are having a good response, a happy and excited response is great to hear. Yeah. And as far as food, it's everything. They said, just for you to be aware, it's all mobile ordering. So there isn't any of this walk up and order your food, go through a line and pay at a cashier. All of it is mobile ordering. And I think probably the only reason why it's been kind of hit or miss is that you'll get to the point where somebody comes in and they don't eat anything until noon when it's the absolute busiest, and then it's just getting overwhelmed with orders for lunch and stuff like that. So they do recommend that from the Disneyland app, the official app, as soon as you get into the park, start figuring out when you think you'll want to have lunch. So if you think, like, hey, I've got 2 kids and usually at home we eat around noon. So kind of figure out, okay, maybe we should put in our order now at 10 o'clock and at least pick a time frame that you're going to be ready for lunch. And then when you get to the line, say, I'm here, and then they prep you food and you take it. But for anybody who's waiting until noon to order your food, you may have to wait in line for a while, anywhere from upwards of half an hour to an hour to get your food that you ordered. So they're recommending order your food as soon as possible. Get in the park, order your lunch, figure out what you're going to do for your dinner, and do it several hours before. So that way you can just walk up to the window, say I'm here, and they prep it, and you go.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been pretty positive that the park, at 10% capacity, of course, the park looks pretty empty at the moment. So those who are lucky enough to go inside really do have the run of the place. I've noticed that there's been a lot of merchandise available in the park, so that's good. Everything seems to be coming back well. The Matterhorn, I did hear something about the Matterhorn this week. So the Matterhorn's currently closed, and there's rumours going around that there is major structural issues with the Matterhorn. I'm just going to tell you, these are just rumours that I've heard, so don't take any it's not for certain or anything like that, but the rumours state that the whole of Matterhorn has to come down at this point. Apparently it's rotting inside.
Yes, so, the thing is that at the time that Disneyland was built, they weren't, structurally it was done very differently, and so the interior structure of the Matterhorn is with wood, and so chunks of the side of the mountain have fallen off before and have fallen onto the track, and luckily there was no track damage, but there was still structural damage. And so they said, it's a possibility that they might have to demolish it and start from scratch and do a full rebuild of the Matterhorn. I don't know if that's the case, if they're really going to have to go to that sort of extreme. But yes, it is very, it is a very rough ride, at least on one side. One track is obviously rougher than the other. I mean, you can have if you ever need to see, if you see a chiropractor for something, you might not want to go on one side of the Matterhorn track because that'll jostle your spine.
Had a personal experience with that one.
One side is smooth. So it's probably a good idea that they're doing something. I hope they fix the issues with the track and making it a little bit more smooth. But right now there's no real news as to whether this is just a regular refurbishment or whether they'll consider doing a major reconstruction. But it's not going anywhere, so just they won't ever get rid of the Matterhorn completely. It's either going to be rebuilt or refurbished.
Do you think there will be a little bit of retheming happening inside, though, similar to what they're doing? Not so much with Splash Mountain, but with the Jungle Cruise, in terms of, I heard a bit of a rumor that Frozen was going to sort of not take over, but there'll be a little bit of Frozen theming inside the mountain.
I don't think they'll do that.
Don't think they'll do that?
I don't think they'll do anything like that.
Nah. Because everybody, I mean, the fact that you've got Harold is the Yeti's name. The fact that you've got Harold in there and he's got such a fan following, and along with all of his, plushies and all the stuff on the, they'd have to rebrand everything to be able to do that. So I really don't see that. I see them keeping it and, you know, making a lot of improvements, but definitely not retheming the Matterhorn.
Yeah, I mean, and we, you know, with Disney Forward, we do have rumors of a frozen land coming to Disney Forward. So I think that's where they're going to do it anyway. And inside that land, they're thinking about a frozen ride as well, which would be similar to the one in Epcot at Disney World. If you know, if rumors are true, just take this all with a grain of salt, guys. But I think that would be their main aim there. So, guys, we've now got through another hour of the show. It's funny to think we could be here for the next 3 hours quite easily, but we want to try and keep these shows sort of down to an hour each week, so that you guys, you know, thirst for more, as they say. So what I'm going to say goodbye, but before we go, links below for Bryan's Magic Life. So make sure you go over to the channel, check out Bryan's Magic Life. There's a vlog there every week, and we do appreciate those vlogs a lot, Bryan. So thanks for that. So links down below for that. And also DisneylandToday.net, the best Disney website on the web. Anywhere you won't find anything better. We have links to DisneylandToday.net down below as well, so go to that. And our show, D News Jam, also links below, so go to that weekly to get your latest Disney news as well. We are having a little bit of break building a new studio until the end of the month, but there's a link below. You can watch past shows, and we really appreciate any support that you give us. Make sure that you subscribe to all of those channels and website just mentioned, and please leave comments and let us know